Hey there, Jason with AMI Detail. I'm going to work on some wheels today. Got a variety of products to try out, kind of do some comparisons just to see what seems to work good for me and with this level of contamination. So let me pull you in closer here. You can take a look. As far as wheels, it's on the F350. Hate to say it, but we have not really given this the attention it's needed. Purchased this truck new for our business in 2017. And this is basically going to be the first real wash. Everything's just been, drive-through car washes and never a wheel brush, never any barrels, nothing like that, no iron remover. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. For products, got ADS, Armour Detail Supply, the wheel cleaner, tire cleaner. I really like having kind of separate dedicated cleaners. It seems like, especially for tires, the dedicated ones just seem to work better. CARPRO, I didn't really have WheelX, so I know that's kind of the more new popular one. I'm going to use the TriX or TriX. That one has the iron remover with some surfactants for cleaning and stuff. And then for the tire, you can try out ReTyre, see how that goes. I'm going to go with the dedicated wheel cleaner from Detail Co, the Ragnarok. And then for tires, doing their BDE, the Bugs Dirt exterior. Both those just using full strength. I guess I should mention on tire on ADS, because I'm refilling the bottle from concentrate, so I mixed that at a 2-to-1 ratio. And this one over here is the newest kind of addition. I'm going to give Vampire Plus from Luminus. That's their iron remover. Again, has some surfactant cleaning for wheels. That one, I have the full strength here, so I diluted that at 5-to-1 into one of the Volvo Cosmetica sprayers, and then using Blaze Direct, which is their ready-to-use formula. And again, that's good for wheels and tires, so kind of using the combination of those two. The tires and barrels, all that, I'll be using some different brushes here. I also have a little wheel mitt. I gotta go grab that. For rinsing, so kind of a different combination here. I'm playing around with my dual Railbee setup. So I currently have one of the new high flow, the 1200 psi, 1.8 gallon per minute, and I'm matching that up with one of the older 1800 psi, 1.2 gallon a minute. So in this case, I'm using the new, from the new one, the sprayer, the short gun, and a 25-degree, I think it was like a 3.7 nozzle, or maybe 3.4 nozzle, whatever the factory one is. And so the combination of those, but using the old 1800 psi pressure washer, that combination gives me about a 500 psi. So when I'm washing up close, that's kind of nice. So what I do is, instead of using the dual at that point, I just turn the one off and use that. So we'll see how that works today. So again, we'll kick things off with Armour Detail Supply. Again, very familiar with these, so one of my favorites. And yeah, this is one that has, it's got good cleaning power and some iron remover aspects of it. It's really nice because the scent is definitely, it's got kind of a, just a nice scent compared to most cleaners. So again, that's hitting the wheel with that. Coming back with ADS tire cleaner. And personally, I really like their sprayers. The way they have a foaming just seems to really help it stick. So we'll give that some dwell time and let that pull some of that contamination out. And I'm going to go grab that little wheel mitt. And go with tire brush first here. And these have never had any dressing or anything since we put them on. I think they've been on there maybe a year or so. So well, there shouldn't be a whole lot of stuff to remove necessarily. It's mainly just cleaning the natural contamination that gets on a tire. And this truck mainly sees on-road use, so it's kind of nice. They're not real knobby or anything, so pretty easy to clean. For the wheel face, go ahead and use the brush here. Go ahead and see how much of it I can get with that. And try to let it dwell and let the chemical do most of the work. That's what they're designed for. The agitation's kind of the one of the next steps. So chemical and time, those are two things that go together really well. Yeah, that really looks like that's cleaning up nicely. And it's a nice brush for those nice soft bristles on that face. I'll use this smaller brush to hit some of these areas. I think that might work good. I was going to use it on lug nuts. Yeah, not happening on this one. Okay, this lockout system, I can clean some of that. So yeah, I kind of jump around. Should do it more and keep in order of start at the valve stem, work your way around, that kind of thing. Yeah, I do the same thing when I fill out forms. Kind of drive people nuts. I jump to the top, to the bottom, to the side, and over here and over there, and I get there eventually. Just kind of take the long way around. I felt like I was doing that in some of my videos and kind of taking the long way around, so I was trying to make it more concise. And then I had people say, yeah, I wish you would spend a little more time showing the product and how it's working. And okay, so kind of back to, yeah, that's what I like seeing too. Is, you know, long form videos. Yeah, you can always jump forward if you want to skip it, but still a nice to see everything in action and kind of how long it takes. So we're gonna just have water in the bucket over here. So yeah, with the barrel blade, and see how that does reaching in here. The wheel's not the most cooperative on that one. A little caliper interference on that side. Yeah. Trying not to drag all that contamination out onto the face of the wheel, but it's kind of unavoidable on this design. So I would say that's kind of best we're getting on that one. So let's do a quick rinse here. So this is again with ADS wheel and tire. To properly clean these, they're almost I'd have to take them off to get that barrels better, but gives you an idea of what that looks like. Let's move on to the next one. So here's the condition of the next tire here, and the wheel. Okay, this one I'm going to go with the CARPRO and the TriX or TriX, I'm not sure exactly. Again, going to use that on the wheels. For a tire cleaner, going with ReTyre. I was busy running around last time trying to grab that wheel mitt, so yeah, then I didn't even end up using it. So, but anyways, kind of get an idea of what, you know, that iron remover aspect of that seems to really be doing a good job. Get that center hub, decorative hub there. let that set for a bit. Let's see with the label here. Main thing on all these, they say don't let it dry. This one's mainly let it dwell 30 seconds. So that's on the ReTyre. TriX says 5 to 7 minutes, while it's with the color change, and you can really see it's pulling off that the iron contamination there, so that's great. And agitate with the brush. So again, all these are, none of these are made to be a touchless type system, so works good to plan on, some agitation. Hey, look at that. I started close to the valve stem this time. Once in a while I accidentally do it. Go for a rinse here. Okie doke. Show you how this one looks. I'd say that combination did a real good job. So let's move on to detail coat. So this one, it's a front tire, just like we had our front wheel and tire. So you can see it's got that same contamination as the other side. The fronts definitely are dirtier. I'm going to use Detail Co Ragnarok, the dedicated wheel wash. Oh. That's nice. It's got a pretty decent scent and everything. Not too bad. And again, their Bugs Dirt exterior. And again, this is full strength. And again, it's more of an APC. Citrus based and stuff, so not exactly a dedicated, for tires, but see how it does. Yeah, that one's got a little more kick to it. Yeah, dude, I can see the smoking. It's kind of crazy. Let me pull you in here, let you see that. See that coming off there? So, I did not see that with the other one, so I'm not, it's pretty crazy. I'm gonna see exactly what is, looks like it's mainly from the tire. Vehicle wasn't driven, it was just pulled in from outside, so wheels and everything are cool. So it's not from heat, it's from chemical reaction doing that one. Okay, let's hit it with the brushes here. It's been a few minutes. It's got some great surfactants in there that definitely can tell it suds up really nice. You can kind of get a little bit that way, but maybe some of those UK sponges would do the trick. Have to see if Thor happens to pick up that line. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a rinse here. Okay. I had really only used that once before, and it's kind of funny how you use a product. At the time, I forget what I was doing. It was just a quick, oh, hey, I'm going to try this. It wasn't specific, really testing it. It was more just, hey, how's this stuff work? And yeah, I am very impressed. That is not the way I remembered it. It was like, I remember at the time it was just like, say, just a quick thing, but yeah, that's right up there with the smell and everything is real good. And BDE, as far as an APC, it's a cleaner. To double as a for tires, that's not everything can do that. So okay, let's head over and we will give Luminus a shot on the last one. Okay, here's the last one. Again, it's funny, the tire actually looks like it's got a little different type of contamination. Not sure why that one would be that way. But as far as the wheel, same kind of, a lot of stuff in those corners. Overall, again, we don't have a lot of miles on this. I think there's only like 30,000 miles on the vehicle. So, but again, it just sits outside with basically no care. So, okay, so this one again, this is the Concentrate Vampire Plus. And so I've got that mixed at a 5-to-1. We'll give that a spray here. Not a bad scent or anything. Pretty decent. And then we're using the Blaze Direct. They're ready to use. and this is again for wheels and tires. So let's go ahead and it does have the dual. You can use it as a foamer or for a spray. I'll go ahead and give the foamer a shot on the tires here. Okay, I tried it. Switch to the spray. And since this is for both, I'm going to go ahead and at least hit the face of it with that as well. Again, give it some time, let that eat away at that. And you can definitely see with the blaze does just pull that contamination right off, and that's looking good. And you can see the bleeding from the Vampire plus the iron remover aspect of it. So the thing is with this video, even though we're kind of comparing products, so far everything looks like it's cleaning about the same level. I mean, I don't see anything, a big difference there. It's probably be more just the how easy it is to use. How much. I mean, so some of that would come down to if the chemical's doing more of the work. Again, that's why we're letting it have that dwell time. But yeah, I think as far as it's more the user experience, what product kind of fits your use, and it's not, you might have a product that's not as aggressive, but you give it more time and kind of work with it and agitate more or something, and you probably get the same results. So it just kind of comes down to what do you prefer. So that's what's kind of funny sometimes when you're comparing things. It's not necessarily that that you're finding the best, or which one is. It's more which one did you really like, which one was a good experience. And that's where scents and different things come into play. So okay, we gave it some time. I talked enough to let it dwell. I won't dwell on the subject, okay? Let the chemicals do the dwelling. I didn't even see smoke rising from this one, so you would think with blaze, usually where there's smoke, there's fire, so I was kind of disappointed. I thought there was going to be maybe some flameage or something. Okay, let's get the face of the wheel here. Again, all these have a nice kind of surfactant package in them as well that does some good cleaning power. Hit these corners. I guess on this side of the truck, I don't know, maybe I just go front to back for some reason, I'm not sure. Because this time instead of going clockwise, I'm going around counterclockwise. So you just never know. You gotta keep it exciting, fun and exciting. You just don't know if you're gonna clean your wheel clockwise in that moment or counterclockwise. It just keep them guessing, right? Okay, so I'll get squeeze the water out of this blade. Let's rinse this off, see how it did. Looks like nice white lettering. So tire looks pretty clean. I think Blaze did a nice job with that. And as far as the wheel, again, it looks like most everything turned out pretty good. I'd say it's not quite up to what I saw on the other three. So it's again, I think some of the other ones might be a little more dedicated tire, or this might be more dedicated iron remover. Again, I mixed it at 5-to-1. Maybe that should have been stronger in this case. They do say, you know, anywhere from 1-to-1 up to 1-to-10. So I just went with kind of in between. So, anyways, just that's what that one looks like. So just wanted to go ahead and show what each one looked like. So again, this is the first one I started with the ADS products. So again, if you pull in close on the wheel, excellent results. Things look really, really good. As far as tires go, and you can see I had pulled the vehicle forward here, so right down through this area is where, you know, I was parked on that previously. So I'm going to touch that up before doing the dressing. So let's walk over to the next one. Was the CARPRO products. Again, you know, real good job there. And same way, the ReTyre did a great job of cleaning the tire itself. Again, that area I'll address here shortly. If we go around to I'll jump back to the front one because that's where I went next with Detail Co. So again, that was using the Ragnarok on the wheel and then BDE on the tire. So you can see, you know, how well Ragnarok did as a cleaner on the wheel. And then as far as tire goes, we got that all cleaned up. And then last one was Luminus. That was using basically Vampire Plus on the wheel. Then went with Blaze on the tire, and also hit the wheel with Blaze, since it was a wheel and tire cleaner also. So again, that one's looking pretty good. Tire wise, I think it did a real fine job on the tire. Blaze was, I mean, the browning and stuff, and really brought that nice black finish back out. And even some of this details, you can see your little Michelin man there a little better. Pretty cool. So one thing I noticed on this one, getting real close on these, there is still some contamination. So it didn't quite clean like the other ones, even though, got in there with agitation and stuff. So if we go back over, look more closely at each one here. So CARPRO, again, most of the corners don't see that same kind of contamination. So I'd say, CARPRO did pretty good job. And ADS, mainly looking into those areas. And that looks real good too. And step back to Detail Co one more time here. And you can see it really, don't see any sort of that contamination like that. Has a real nice finish to it. And even on the barrel, started to get in there. Again, a lot of it on this one is the difficulty of getting something to get into those areas. So, but giving a quick overview before doing the dressing,